Yeah, this is the problem with this vehicle here. You start it. The engine start, engine there and then. Yeah. But if you see, notice you see the alternator like that, the ignition light then still there. Let me get camera focus. Right, this is the light this still there. That have problem with the alternator. The alternator ain't charging right now. So for you know if the alternator charging, come back behind here. Lift off on the terminal. See engine shut off there? Right, I mean your alternator ain't charging. So what we're going to do, we're going to replace the alternator and then we go try it again. Yeah, we're filming today here, boy. Quick notice, if you notice, the alternator here, this is the alternator we're going to replace, right? But with this vehicle here now, this is the Toyota Ace 4-wheel drive version. If you notice, they have a differential in the way. Because with the other model, the rear wheel drive, you could actually slip out the alternator right here underneath without taking apart all this. You might think the alternator hard to come out because they are long there, but it's not hard to come out, you know. If you notice at this side, this, wait, let me see if I can show you. You can see a 10 bolt with a wire pan there. Let me see if I can show you down in there. Look it down in there. Right, this, right, that is a live wire. Make sure your battery terminal there before you start all this, eh? And then you have another wire in the back there. You just plug it out. And you have 2 bolts. You have one underneath down in here. Let me see if I can show you that bolt. There are 14 bolts down in here, so below the alternator. Look it down there. See it there? You got a 14 bolt there, and you're supposed to have one up here, so on the adjuster, and you have to slip out the alternator. Yeah, quick note. You see, if you're taking out the alternator, anything in the way at the alternator, you have to remove. So what I forgot to mention is you have to remove this hose, this radiator, bottom radiator hose. You need to ease out a little bit. I already removed the hose above here, the hose here, but when you connect this up, I already removed it. But now that we have the alternator out, let me show you something. You see the same 10 bolt right here, so I was talking about. Look at there. A wire connected to it. Let me remove it. You always want to ensure that your battery terminal is off when you remove this wire. Okay, never mind the alternator, but this is the regulator plug. This is actually what controls the light them on the dashboard. This harness also sends power to the rotor coil in the alternator, enabling the alternator to charge the battery. As you can see, I'm fighting with the connector. The key to getting off this connector is pull from the connector and not the wiring harness. You see it look kind of rough. Yeah man, been through all battery. And it's like all this oily. We don't want to see the alternator like that, because oil making its way into the alternator could actually short it out and cause problems. There's a disease with these vehicles that the power steering pump, look it right here. When the power steering pump start to leak, it drip the oil right down on the alternator, but it doesn't build down there. Yeah, so you just have to watch it with these pumps. When these pumps start to leak, address them immediately. Is you're going to have to buy a lot of these alternators or rebuild them. Okay, this is the new alternator. Yeah, she pretty, yeah? Pretty like a big girl. Me tell you about it. Yeah man. And the old one there, this is like a then sandy big girl. I don't know how they set up, but yeah, but this like a backward girl. So we're gonna drop this in and hopefully she works sweet. Okay, if you want to know the connection, this is the part of the video for you. That's with the battery. You connect it right here on this B post. You call this a B post. B stand for battery. You understand? And then look at the connect this pan this. There's the connection to this. But you're not going to tighten it up just yet. When you get it down in the hole and bolt up on the engine, then you go tighten this off. And then now we have the connection in the back. This is the regulator plug. This could only connect when you get the alternator down in the because as you can see, wire kind of short. Look around, put it down in the hole down in there. So you can see the alternator right here, done the catch up on the engine. So right now, just tighten up this 10 bolt right here. Yeah, so we don't tighten she up, ensure she tighten up, make sure she shake up good. Yeah man, she that ain't moving there at all. And if you notice, this long bolt here, below down here we put in, this is the bottom bolt I've been showing you from the beginning, right here. It's a bolt and nut, the back part right here. So you actually have to go underneath and put on the nut. But we ain't ready for that yet. You put in up the alternator like this, and the belt right here. You slip over your belt, boom. You understand? That's how we just set it up. You actually have to tension this. I will show you that in a while. Alright, let me show you something with the vehicle. Let me show you a little life hack here. You see for the alternator there up in there. Right, if you notice good, you see me put a spanner pan the nut. We're supposed to go on pan the bolt. Right, the spanner they jam between the oil pan engine and the drive shaft. So that can twist now turn this. So when I ratchet up this so that they can't move. So you know, so we walk the ratchet here so. Remember the spanner they down the jam off. So she can't turn down there. So only the bolt alone turn in. So let's just tighten it up. Okay, let me show you a very important thing here now. Okay, this alternator here was to tension with a adjuster, right? There's a bolt going through here with another piece in here so that will adjust the alternator tension on the belt. But as you could see, the alternator is way out on top of the adjuster right here so, and the belt still slack. The correct thing was to change the belt and put on the original belt. So what I'm going to do is actually get a piece of pipe, wedge it between the alternator up in there, and pry on the alternator, like bring it back out, bring the alternator forward to tension the belt, and I'll tighten off the lower bolt below here, and that should hold the alternator in place. But note that if you're doing this on a customer vehicle, doing this work, the proper way is to replace the belt. Never do this on a customer vehicle. If it's your own vehicle, by all means. Alright, now we done tension up the belt, you see. You can't push in the belt, because the tension pan them body. Alright, and when we do, we actually get a piece of pipe and wedge it against here and pry the alternator like that. Shit, never mind. Yeah, we actually did this and pry the alternator, get a little tension on the belt, and we tighten the lower bolt below there. So that ain't going anyway. But don't do this on a customer vehicle. Do this on your own. Yeah, so for say it. Now before you start up and make sure everything working, I'm not excited to see alternator working here, but make sure your plugs and plug in properly. As you can see, my hand is in the back of the alternator. That's when I've connected the regulator plug. And push it up good. Make sure she did all the way on. Back up in there like this. And the hose stamp up in there. Right. Send she up in there, man. There they go. So send she back up so. And left on it. Send screwdriver down in there. Tighten she up. Yeah, when you're done there, make sure she not come back out. Then now this hose here, and my pressure that's in the radiator hose here. So make sure everything tighten up. The reason why we have to pull it back up with coolant. Not say water. The reason why we have to pull it back with coolant. Because you might say, it's just the alternator changing. How the hell you have to pull it back with coolant? What kind of thing going on here? Reason why is because we remove this hose here. This is a radiator hose. Right, as you can see, she don't full up there, don't tap she back up with some water. Right. Now we go find out if everything's set. So this is the battery terminal. Put on the battery terminal. Right. You can see all our dashboard light is on. Then we start up and see what she can see.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh boy, still have a problem. Now normally when you buy a new alternator, you expect for just, plug up and roll. But as you can see, we're experiencing dashboard light on them wasn't going out. And that have something to do with the internal rectifier. The regulator, sorry. So what we'll do is we're going to open the alternator. We got these 3 8 bolts and the 1 10 bolt on the side, and take off this back cover. Okay, this is what it looks like when you remove the cover. This is just a dust cap, don't mind that. Now this is inside the alternator, and the parts are these. This is the rectifier, and this is the regulator. This part is responsible for turning on cutting out the dashboard lights and them. As a side note, worn brushes can cause similar problems. When the brushes are worn out and cannot make connection with the rotor coil, it actually keeps on the ignition lights when the engine is running. So worn brushes gives the same symptoms. You see, if we remove the cover off the old alternator as well, I know for a fact that this regulator was functioning just fine. The problem with this alternator, when we get down inside the alternator, I'll show you what the problem really is. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws from this regulator, and we're gonna interchange it now with the one from the old alternator. And doing so, I'll show you the problem with this alternator that we were having. Now, the problem with this alternator, right? This is the old alternator. If you notice carefully around this slip ring, it's supposed to be gold, like copper, and you can actually see that it's black. And there's one little copper piece right there. It was only making connection with that. So when this turn and make connection with the brushes, let me show you. When this turn and make connection with these brushes, it will actually charge. But when it moves from the brushes, it will stop charging. So this alternator was charging and stop charging and stop charging and stop. That's the problem with this. So there is no problem with the internals like the rectifier and the regulator. This is actually good, and as well as this. So these parts are fine, but the slip rings, as you could call, these are the slip rings, this and this, call them the slip rings. These are actually bad. New parts installed, as you can see, and we'll just reinstall the back cover, install our 3 8-bolt and 1 10-bolt, and we'll slip it in. Now we're gonna do the final test to see. Off, and come back here, remove the terminal, engine still running. I've removed the engine fan to prevent me from disconnecting the radiator hose and getting coolant all over on the alternator. Last tip, as you can see, I have removed the fan. Reason being, I didn't want to remove this radiator hose again. So what I did, I removed the fan and I slipped the alternator out this way, take it out, rebuild it, and slip it back in. Now I have put back in the fan, and we do that. We remove the fan by these 4 bolts. 1, okay, down here, 1, 2, okay, 3, and 4. Just remove that, then 4 bolts, and the fan can come right off. And same way you put it back on. Just put it back and bolt it on. Now we install our fan guard back down in there. We could actually put this guard back, well, this panel back in place. This is actually the shifter's light and the shifter safety mechanism that I am reconnecting. Connected. The shifter safety mechanism. And this wire did not have any plug, so I had to cut this wire, so I'm joining it, reconnecting it back. A little bit of electrical tape goes a long way. Yeah, we've installed the panel and the carpet. Now to already install the shifter cover, we need to install our 4 10-volt, 1, 2, 3, and 1 the other side 4. We've installed the seat, and installing the 40mm bolt. So you have this one, and you have 2 in front.